Hey guys, can you do me a favor real quick? You know, we just had our national anthem. If we could get all veterans or anybody that's currently enlisted to stand up right now and be recognized. If you have ever served for the U.S. military or are currently enlisted, let's make a little noise for these people. How about one time for the people that are overseas right now serving their country? Make a little noise for them. And last but certainly not least, the ones that have given their life for this country through our military. Make a little noise for them. Make the most noise for them, ladies and gentlemen. We would not be here if it was not for them. Now, we do have some ladies here as well. Obviously, a lot of ladies here in our audience, but we have our beautiful USFFC Cage girls. I want to show them some love. Courtney, Nikki, Destiny, and Bethany. You'll be seeing them all night tonight. Make a little noise for our Cage girls. They're right there for you. And with all that out of the way, are you guys ready for your first fight tonight? Come on! That was weak. Give me more. I want you guys to get loud. You guys are ready to see fights? Make some noise. Are you ready for your first fight tonight? And now, ladies and gentlemen, three-minute rounds in the 135-pound bantamweight division. Introducing first the fighter on my right, fighting out of the red corner. He weighed in at 135 pounds with a record of 0 wins, 0 losses, and 1 draw. Fighting for Strikeforce MMA, Augusta, Georgia, Andrew Steed. And now his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 135 pounds, making his MMA debut. Fighting for Absolute MMA, Greenville, South Carolina, Oscar Lopez. Your referee when the action begins, Blake Grice.
Andrew Steed, Augusta, Georgia, Strikeforce MMA. Oscar Lopez, hometown here in Greenville, Absolute MMA. Early on from the eye test, it appears as though Andrew
Guys,
Steed
remember,
might
no
have a
flash photography during the fight, please. No flash photography during the fight.
Slight size advantage just from the eye test.
But still very similar in stature. And, man, both these guys look like they're ready to come out swinging.
Oscar Lopez light on the feet, taking the outside. Andrew Steed rushing right to the center.
Of course, Steed in the southpaw. Lopez in the southpaw position here. Both men
in the southpaw position. You don't often see that.
That levels things out a little bit.
Yes, it does. It can take away the awkwardness of
it brings the fight back to being orthodox. These guys are already slinging some leather.
Not wasting a moment, both Oscar Lopez and Andrew Steed starting off strong. Kicks and punches being exchanged from both fighters, both battling for the center of the USFFC cage. Trying to find each other's distance and range right now. Some heavy strikes being thrown, but nothing quite too big landing.
Andrew Steed keeping his hands a little bit low, but gets him up quick. He caught a really good right hook there and then followed it up with a kick to the head. Beautiful shots, but Oscar Lopez still in this.
Steed may have connected that chin to the jaw, but Oscar Lopez not showing any signs. Wrestling up against the cage. Who wants it more?
Jockeying for position here, certainly. Looks like Oscar Lopez looking for that single leg, looking to finish that takedown. These guys are tough.
They are. Oscar Lopez looking to drop levels now, back to the single leg, trying to muscle his man down, lifting him up. Steed doing a good job of defending.
Nice right there. That's what you have to watch out for. Lopez taking a lot of those hammer fists. Those don't feel good.
No, they don't.
Now say this, Andrew Steed, if I were him, I would look to go towards the Wizard, but now he's in front face lock position. Lopez looking to finally finish that takedown.
And he's going to be able to get it.
Big shots there. Now this is how mixed martial arts, the evolution of mixed martial arts takes place here. He's looking for the takedown. He lands some incidental shots in the middle of it, then completes the takedown.
He's got it
now. That is pure mixed martial arts.
Worked very hard for it. able to muscle his man up against the cage, scoop his legs out from underneath him. What can he do to capitalize on this improved position?
Well, in this position, he needs to hold, make sure that there's no scramble here. If he can hold this position, he can inflict a lot of damage. With that left knee, he can draw in, look for the iron cross. He opts for the mount position
Lopez
to the rear mount
over.
position. Looks like he's busted open, but he's in a good spot here in rear mount.
Excellent side mount to knee on belly to mount, and then took his back as he gave it to him. Now in a dominant position and looking to flatten out Andrew Steed of Strikeforce MMA.
Very, very interesting position. Like I said, a big cut over the left eye of Oscar Lopez. He's got to be thinking about that a little bit, wanting to finish this thing.
Lopez looking for that rear naked choke, unable to find it. Good defense from Steed, however.
Show of sportsmanship right there.
You know, Oscar Lopez fought hard. He ate some shots to get that takedown. Eric Steed fought him the whole way, but by being able to secure it, he was probably also able to secure that first round.
Remember that Upstate Warrior Solution is a community-based nonprofit organization in the upstate of South Carolina, connecting U.S. military service members and their families to the resources they need, guiding them through the process of developing realistic solutions for a variety of areas in their lives. That's Upstate Warrior Solution. Donate, donate, donate. A great partner here of the USFFC.
A very interesting position here because, of course, Oscar Lopez securing the takedown. He is obviously the winner of that round, in my opinion. But Andrew Steed, he connected somewhere and created a cut over the eye of Oscar Lopez. So Lopez has got to be watching out here too, because another connected shot, it can cause problems for Oscar Lopez.
Also, Oscar Lopez using a lot of energy to make that takedown happen. We'll see how his cardio holds up here in round two. Can he make it happen again? That was a formula for success in round one. Let's see how Steed changes his game plan.
Well, like you said, a lot of work there. It looks like these guys are still fresh as rain going into this.
A lot of water on the back in front of Andrew Steed. Blake Rice, he's going to check that out.
Absolutely.
Yep, that's a good idea. And the reason the ref does that is to try to keep the grappling competition fair. It can be more difficult to lock up those upper body triangles and guillotines and stuff like that with all that water dripping off.
Undoubtedly.
Both fighters in the center of the cage looking to see who can strike first, make that first move.
Well, Oscar Lopez is going to have to watch. Remember, he caught a really sharp right hook from Andrew Steed in the start of the first round, and that led to the scramble, which ended up seeing Oscar Lopez on top. But that could have been that right hook that busted him open right there.
Steed seems to be a little more picking his shots a little more carefully now in round two after potentially going down one round due to a takedown up against the cage. The chess match of mixed martial arts is an incredible one. There's so many dynamics at play. I mean, we could probably talk for hours about foot placement and where to keep the inside foot as opposed to where your opponent's is, and that's just one of hundreds of things.
Nice, here we go. Good
body
drive there.
shot by Andrew Steed.
Good drive by Andrew Steed, and it could be that he's being very careful now. He doesn't want to get involved in a grappling scramble again, which he lost in the first round.
Kicking the fight off at 135 pounds here at the TD Convention Center. Greenville, South Carolina, first night of the night, USFFC 24 Aftershock. Kicks being exchanged. That one may have been a little low. He waves it off, no problem. Lunging left hook from Oscar Lopez. We've seen him trying to get in
here we
with
go.
That.
Lopez going in. He
Another
lands some
left
sick
hook.
shots. That was a hard shot. Steed is in trouble here. Trying to hang on, but man, he took a sharp one to the face. He can't move. This is a very, very bad spot for Andrew Steed.
Can he get away?
Blake Rice looking on. Steed looking possibly for a knee bar. I don't know. Doing anything he can to avoid the onslaught.
I think Steed has recovered from the punch, but now he's in a whole
in a bad spot. Yeah, same place he was in the first round, except now he's hurt.
Oscar Lopez, a southpaw that switched stances and used that power left to lunge in with a left hook, caught him flush, now on top, dropping bombs.
Props to Steed. He's still in this fight. He's still in this battle, pushing forward.
Shots from Oscar Lopez.
Blake Price looking on very attentively here, and Steed survives the second round.
Wow, what a way to kick things off. Oscar Lopez throwing bombs at Andrew Steed.
And we're moving into our third and final round, guys. Remember, if you're a fighter, matchmaker, gym owner, or anyone associated with the fight industry, make sure to check out FightWorldDirectory.com. It's a database for all things fight, making it simple to find exactly what you're looking for. That's FightWorldDirectory.com.
All right, Casey Oxendine, you're in the corner of Drew Steed. You're arguably down 2 rounds. Your fighter might not be in the right place mentally. What do you tell him to get him out in the third round and win this fight?
If you watch Steed, Steed was dominant when he was being aggressive and moving forward. It was only when he waited and looked for the counter of Oscar Lopez that he got caught, he got dropped, and he got put in that bad position again. He needs to be aggressive, and I know he has to watch out because in the first round, Oscar Lopez was looking to clinch up. But in this case, he's got to throw it all. He's got to throw caution to the wind and go for the go for the win, and go to knock Oscar Lopez out.
A finish might need to happen here for Drew Steed in round 3 of the first fight of tonight's event at USFFC 24, the Aftershock.
And that's exactly what he's doing. Look at this, Andrew Steed on his wheels coming forward. Again, if he stands and he waits, it could be curtains.
Oscar Lopez still quick on his feet, nimble, light, not flat-footed at all, staying on the outside perimeter and picking and choosing his shots excellently tonight.
But you can still tell that it's out of him a little bit. You know, that second round took something out of him. Now right here, Steed looking for an arm in guillotine, but it doesn't look like a good spot. He doesn't have any portion of his guard.
Yep.
This is survival right here.
A headlock from side mount,
and I think
not going to choke anybody out.
I think Oscar Lopez knows it too.
Yeah.
Now there are methods by which you can complete the guillotine, the
from
McKenzie team. It's possible, but you have to have the correct arm placement. Andrew Steed does not have that here.
Black belt in jiu-jitsu, Casey Oxendine. I certainly won't question it.
For years they said it couldn't be done, and then Cody McKenzie came along and he did it, and he sort of changed the game in regards to the guillotine choke.
I think he had 11 finishes in a row with the McKenzie team or something like that.
Sir.
All right, Oscar Lopez in the side mount of Drew Steed. Not too much damage coming from up top because Drew Steed has a headlock, and Oscar Lopez capitalizing, looking for the mount position. Hip bucked out of it.
Now, of course, if Oscar Lopez fancies the Von Flue choke, this would be the time and the place for that.
Another out of the ordinary submission hold, but definitely an effective one. We've seen it win professional fights.
Undoubtedly, Ovin St. Preux, you may have heard of him. This is a guy who is known for completing this hold on a number of occasions in top-tier competition.
And I have been personally choked out with it before. It works.
Wow.
Oscar Lopez has his man's back, and he's out.
Oh, but continues the onslaught. Lopez in complete control of this fight here.
Drew Steed has time to make it happen, but not too much. He needs a big shot, and he needs it fast.
Oh, nice shot. Maybe calling for as an eye gouge here.
Couldn't see from here in the broadcast booth, but sometimes the fingers do get extended in those jabs.
That left eye of Oscar Lopez is taking a beating tonight.
Yeah.
Above the eye, in the eye. The left side of his face is not going to be pretty after this.
He's got a little mouse there. Gonna have a little mark to show for it tomorrow.
Yeah. This sport is one of those where you can tell how long you've been in typically. By the marks on your face. After you've been in, even if you're a young man, you tend to get marked up a little bit here and there.
Face, the ears, another way to tell.
Yeah. But the girls love it.
That's what I hear.
I'm nothing to look at, but I'm proud of my wife. I'll tell you that.
There you
go. Yeah. Found me a looker.
You do have a good catch, Casey Oxendine. Oscar Lopez, Drew Steed wrapping things up in the third and final round.
Drew Steed, he's got to move forward. He may not have anything left in the tank. He may be on Dream Street right now. Who knows?
Could be.
But he's still standing strong. Props to him for that. But he's got to do something if he wants his hand raised at the end of this.
And this card will go to the judges. Oscar Lopez and Drew Steed.
Casey Oxendine's card. Oscar Lopez, 30-27.
Matt Tomlinson's got it scored the same way, but we're just the broadcasters, so don't take our word for it. Some miraculous decisions have been made in our sport, Casey. From the elite levels down to the regional ones, you really don't know what the judges were thinking. Unfortunately, at the amateur level, the wins and the losses don't quite matter as much. This is the arena for fighters to come in, cut their teeth, get their feet wet, and learn from their mistakes, because they are going to happen. Mistakes, that is.
Absolutely. Experience is key here. You've got to get in there and have the fights. You know, even if you've got a tremendous skill set, putting it together inside of the cage, under pressure, under the lights, is utterly important, and this is that learning curve.
Here we see the replay. Eric Lopez doing a great job on top control. Didn't really make too many mistakes on the ground. Didn't let his opponent up, and used a good, keeping his knees apart, blocking his opponent's hips and shoulders from getting out of that side mount, and then improving whenever he had the chance.
Absolutely. And it appears as though Cyrus Fees has that announcement.
All right, guys, before I read our winner, let's make a little bit of noise for both fighters going the distance for you tonight here in Greenville. First fight of the night. The judges score it as this: 30-27, Lopez. 29-28, Steed. And 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Oscar Lopez.
Wow, split decision. That's very surprising to me. While Steed did.
You know, we said it right before the announcement was made. Sometimes judges see different from a different angle. Looks a little differently, I suppose.